We back, family. Peace, peace, peace. Chauncey, aka the Black Separatist, back at you once again with another GMOGmedia TV conversation. All right, family, the topic I want to talk about is Millennial Pundits, the new age of conservative social commentary. It's kind of a mouthful, but that's what it is, man. It's the new wave of these progressive suspected white supremacists who they have a lot of really easy habits that they talk about that's so typical, and obviously these guys have no idea about racial progress, racial inequality, systemic oppression, which is all white supremacy and the history of it. I'm going to break all this down in this video, family. Before I start on my commentary, if you're new to this channel, once again, my name is Chauncey, aka the Black Separatist. On this channel, I talk about counter racism. I also talk about issues that affect Black people collectively as a group. And I offer my suggestions on how to replace this broken system of injustice, this broken system of racism, white supremacy, with a system of justice. So if you are new and you agree to that ideology, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. If you don't agree to that ideology, go ahead and live out your fantasies, troll my channel, hate watch, leave dumbass comments, because at the end of the day, you are just a statistic. All right, so have at it. Anyway, family, so let's get right into the topic. So I'm going to talk about these new wave, millennial pundits, these people who provide social commentary to stimulate, maintain their ideologies of maintaining their ways of systematic racism, white supremacy, their ways of stimulating their audience of millennials, right? And I'm talking about white millennials between the ages of 18 and 29, because that was basically the hand of the people who elected Donald Trump as president-elect. All right. So to name drop, I'm going to talk about people like Tomi Lahren. And shout out to one of my subscribers who brought up Tomi Lahren's name, Def Rocker. Been a long time supporter. Appreciate that for bringing up her name, because I wanted to talk about her, but I didn't really know what kind of topic I can bring her into. But, Tomi Lahren has been the new wave of what you would call new millennial pundits who provide social commentary on issues of today. And, her stance is a conservative stance. It's a conservative stance of maintaining systematic racism, white supremacy. Initially, people like Tomi Lahren, who provide social commentary and say, her stance about Colin Kaepernick, right? Basically, just to paraphrase what she was talking about in her opinion about the Colin Kaepernick incident: shut up, nigger. Accept your job. Accept that you're being paid millions of dollars, because you don't deserve the right to stand up against social injustices pertaining to Black and brown people in this country. Just do your job and shut up. I'm paraphrasing, but that's exactly what she meant, right? And she also, and many other of these conservative new millennial pundits who do social commentary, they do the easy target, which is demonize Black Lives Matter. And mind you, I'm no advocate of Black Lives Matter. I am not for Black Lives Matter either. The actual movement itself, the quote unquote movement itself, all right, I don't agree with that particular movement. Now, the idea of what started Black Lives Matter, right? The idea of social injustices happening towards Black people in this country, the uprising of that movement. I agree with the idea, but not the movement. There's a difference. All right. So, like I said, these guys, they talk about Black Lives Matter. They demonize it, right? And I'm pretty sure it's one incident or one, I don't know, one paragraph away from being demonized as a hate group according to the Southern Poverty Law Center. Because again, the Southern Poverty Law Center already has the NOI, Nation of Islam, and the Hebrew Israelites, and people who subscribe to black separatism like myself as hate groups, terrorist groups, etc., etc. So I'm pretty sure Black Lives Matter will be on there eventually. But pretty much Black Lives Matter is now demonized, and it's basically a butt-in of a civil rights joke as of today. That's the way mainstream white media has demonized and destroyed Black Lives Matter. But these guys, these new wave millennial pundits, they love to attack Black Lives Matter, demonize it. Tommy Loren, you know, she did a tweet about the new KKK, Black Lives Matter, right? And she deleted that tweet, but that's just an example of these conservative, suspected white supremacists out here, you know, galvanizing and stimulating their audience, the people who voted in Donald Trump to be president-elect. All right, that's the audience that they're talking to. All right, and you got these other YouTubers and these folks who provide social commentary who have the same ideologies, right?
Yes, you saw and heard correctly. Groups of black people targeting innocent white civilians on the street. Kind of reminds me of another group, the KKK. No, not the KKK. Black people actually can't be racist. My sociology teacher in community college told me that. So
these quote-unquote millennial pundits who provide social commentary, this is the new wave of maintaining and galvanizing their audience to maintain systematic racism, white supremacy. That's exactly what it is. And it was proven because Donald Trump is elected president. Facts. All right. And you could say with the help of Russia as well. All right. So that just proves it's a global system. A global system. Black people are still being oppressed, still being dominated, still being subjugated, mistreated, disenfranchised, right? And we've been having that issue for over 400 years. And when you have people who provide social commentary to galvanize their audience of suspected white supremacists, that's the end result. That's how you maintain power. All right. So millennial pundits and, you know, the Generation Z audience, people who were born in the 2000s and beyond, this is what they're looking at right now. Okay? This is what they're looking at right now with their ideologies. All right? White people, white millennials between the ages of 18 and 29, that's exactly what their ideology is. And I'm just not talking about just random stuff. These are facts. These are from exit polls. Look up the exit poll statistics. And you look at the number of people, white millennials, who voted for Donald Trump in this year's election. All right. So that's what it is, family. That's what it is. How do you counter that? Well, this is one of the ways you counter it. I provide a platform. I shouldn't say I provide a platform. I provide suggestions. The platform is YouTube, right? And let's talk about platforms. There's no black platforms. Okay? There's no such thing as a black platform. All of these platforms are owned and controlled by the dominant white society. All right? Google owns the infrastructure. Google maintains the intellectual property. Site reliability engineers maintain your intellectual property on Google's infrastructure in the cloud. You don't even know where the data centers are. That's how technologically advanced Google is. You can't penetrate. You don't even know where their data centers are. They're everywhere. You can say, oh, there's one physical data center this place, but that's just a hub. You know, for a person who works in the IT industry, I understand exactly what's going on and how they maintain the infrastructure. It's very, very sophisticated. So again, we don't own or control our own platforms. We can only just provide suggestions, and the only thing that we basically own is our intellectual property. But the infrastructure is maintained and owned and controlled by the dominant white society, aka Google, aka Facebook, aka Twitter, aka Instagram, aka Snapchat, etc., etc. All right. So again, to counter that, we need to get off their resources. I've been a huge advocate on making sure that we have our own rival website, like a Google, like a YouTube, a video sharing website platform, right? A social media platform that rivals these websites that are owned and controlled by us. That's one way to counter that. So I'm basically using YouTube's infrastructure to get the message out, to spark some ideas, right? For black people, for black empowerment, so that we can get the ball rolling. But until we're on the same page, we're going to have a long way to go. All right. So that's what I wanted to talk about, family. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Again, these new wave millennial pundits who provide conservative social commentary. This is the new way of maintaining systematic white supremacy. All right. So we got to counter that, family. We have to counter that. All right. Again, this is Chauncey, aka the Black Separatist. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Signing out. Peace.